Wedding tape. Murder in Kirkuk.
Kirkuk is a city in Iraq, located north of the capital Baghdad, about 250 kilometers away from Baghdad. It was a dark, cold night in the year 2000. In the Musala neighborhood, north of Kirkuk, a group of young boys were playing football in the street, near an old, dark cemetery. Suddenly, the ball flew over the cemetery walls. The boys froze in fear, but curiosity pushed them to enter together, armed with only a single flashlight, while searching for the ball among the shadows. Their flashlight revealed a horrific sight: the lifeless body of a young girl, completely naked, lying over an old grave. The boys screamed and ran in pure panic. They didn't know they had just opened the door to one of the most brutal kidnapping and revenge cases in the city's history. Panting and terrified, they ran to one of their fathers, screaming, "There's a body in the cemetery! There's a body in the cemetery!" At first, the father didn't believe them, but after hearing their desperate story, he went to the cemetery, only to find the chilling truth himself. The story begins just 24 hours before the body was discovered. The family of 10-year-old Iman was preparing to attend a wedding in a nearby neighborhood. The mother painted her daughter's eyes with traditional kohl and dressed her in her finest clothes. Together, they went to the celebration. In local traditions, women celebrate inside the house, while the children play and dance in the street outside. Iman was there, dancing joyfully with her friends. Every now and then, the mother would check on her, see her laughing, and return to the party. But as the wedding came to an end, the mother stepped out to call her daughter, Iman, Iman. But there was no answer. She asked the children, "Where is Iman?" They said, "She was here just a moment ago." She searched the streets, the neighbors' houses, but to no avail. The lights of joy faded, and the wedding turned into a terrifying search party. Everyone was searching for Iman. Even Fozia, the mother's next-door neighbor, was out there searching, weeping bitterly and consoling Iman's mother. Night fell, the father arrived, and the entire neighborhood searched. But Iman had vanished into thin air. The morning after the wedding, Iman's father reported his daughter's disappearance to the police. The police rushed to the wedding location. They summoned the groom and his family for interrogation, and officers began a desperate search for the little girl. That same evening, the father of one of the boys, who discovered the body in the Musala cemetery, notified the police. He had gone to the graveyard himself and witnessed the horrific scene. The police arrived immediately and began examining the little girl's body. The police summoned Iman's father, who had already filed the missing persons report. The police told Iman's father that they had discovered the body of a young girl. They asked him to come and see it, to confirm whether it was his daughter Iman. A moment heavy with dread, as a father's heart trembled between hope and despair. Iman's father trembled from head to toe as he walked toward the morgue, with heavy burdened steps, silently praying that this body would not be his daughter Iman's. But when his eyes fell upon the corpse, he screamed at the top of his voice, "No, no, this is my daughter Iman." Then he collapsed in tears, unable to stand, and sank to the floor, weeping uncontrollably. News of Iman's murder spread like wildfire throughout the city. The case shook public opinion, and political pressure reached the highest levels. The director of security summoned a master detective famous for his intelligence and solving complex riddles. He assigned him to the case. With a stern, furious tone, "I want you to find the killer immediately." The detective calmly replied, "Give me a few days, and I will bring you the criminal." From under the earth, the detective began from ground zero. The wedding. He interrogated everyone, but found nothing suspicious. Even the children playing with Iman couldn't remember how or where she disappeared. The detective was baffled. Why was the wedding in one area, while her body was found far away, in the Omusala neighborhood, near her parents' home? It was clear she had been transported there, her body dumped in the cemetery, like a challenge from the killer. Suddenly, the detective asked the groom a question that would change everything. "Did anyone film the wedding?" The groom replied, "Yes, we have a videotape shot by an old portable video camera." The detective took the tape and rushed back to his office. He watched it on fast forward, but found nothing unusual. Then he summoned Iman's father, asking him to identify his daughter. When he saw her, he screamed through tears, "There she is! That's my Iman." Then the detective took the tape home that night. He locked the door and sat alone before the television, rewatching the scenes second by second. He began manually counting the faces in every shot. As the cameraman passed the house where the youths danced, over 100 people, suddenly he noticed Iman in her beautiful dress, appearing and disappearing in the crowd. His eyes narrowed on a young man wearing a unique shirt. He saw him appear, then disappear, and finally vanish completely. Then he realized something chilling the moment that young man disappeared from the videotape. Iman disappeared with him. Neither of them ever appeared again. The next morning, the detective summoned the groom, showed him the tape, and asked, "Do you know who owns this unique shirt?" The groom replied, "Yes, I know him. His name is Laith. He lives in the Musala neighborhood. The detective's eyes gleamed with triumph. Perfect. The police quickly retrieved Laith's data, located his address, and launched a raid. They arrested him immediately. The detective began interrogating Laith, asking him the exact time he left the wedding and where he went. Laith began to stammer, his voice trembling under the detective's mounting pressure. Finally he broke, "To be honest, I wasn't alone." The detective's eyes narrowed. "Good. Who was the second person?" Laith whispered, "A man named Iman." The police raided Iman's place, arresting him. To their shock, Iman confessed. There was a third accomplice, named Samir. In a matter of hours, Samir was also behind bars. Iman and Samir confessed that they only helped Laith in kidnapping Iman, and that when they arrived at the cemetery, they left. In other words, they did not participate with Laith in the rape and killing of the child Iman. As the interrogations deepened, the detective discovered a chilling truth. There was no hatred between the three criminals and Iman's family. No vendetta against the father, the mother, or the innocent 10-year-old girl. Then, the real mastermind was exposed. Fozia, the mother's next-door neighbor. Just a month before, Fozia and Iman's mother had a massive fight. Fozia felt deeply insulted, and a dark desire for revenge consumed her. Fozia reached out to her lover, Laith, asking him to avenge her. Laith asked, "How do you want me to take revenge?" She replied, "Let me think of a way, and I will let you know." A month later, when Fozia learned that the family was attending a wedding, she contacted Laith. She told him, "Iman's mother is going to a wedding party. I want you to kidnap her daughter, Iman, and break her mother's heart." Laith replied, "All right, but I don't know what she looks like. How will I find her?" Fozia coldly answered, "I will attend the wedding, and you come too. I will step outside the door and point her out to you with my own hand." And that is exactly what happened. They both attended the wedding. Fozia stepped out, and with a casual wave of her hand, she pointed out the dancing little girl to Laith. In the blink of an eye, Laith snatched Iman, without anyone noticing a thing. The detective watched the videotape once more after Laith's confession, and there it was. A woman, hidden in the shadows, pointing her hand toward the children dancing outside the door. Laith snatched the little girl and dragged her into the darkness of the Musala cemetery. There, he committed the unthinkable, sexually assaulting her before brutally taking her life. With no mercy, no compassion, he left her lifeless, naked body over an old grave and fled into the night. The police arrested Fozia under heavy interrogation. She broke down and confessed to everything. They were all referred to the criminal court. Due to the sheer brutality of the crime, the court sentenced them all to death. In 2004, justice was finally served, and they were all executed. And that is how the dark mystery of Iman ended. I hope this story kept you on the edge of your seat. To make sure you don't miss the next chilling archive, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Until next time, stay curious.